What is going on, ladies and germs, gentlemen's, him, them, they? I am your host, Vibrant, and this is another episode of The Vibrant Truth. Now then, you see the title? the true acceptance, the true acceptance of people, communication, how it's supposed to go, how it's supposed to play out, everything in between. And I apologize if I'm looking at my phone a lot in this episode. You know, I'm a crisis prevention person too. So, with that being said, let's get into the topics here. Ooh. All right. So, true acceptance is the acceptance, I can't even talk, excuse me, of a person's good personalities, a person's bad personalities, and a person's shortcomings, right? You accept everything as a whole. So basically, the intention or the expectation of men is we have to accept any and everything that's thrown at us when it comes from a preference of a woman, right? So basically, a woman can say any and everything to a man, and a man's expected to take it, right? And here's the thing: women nowadays are expected of men to just take whatever is thrown at them, right? So, with that being said, it's like, yo, Redbeard, do I sound better? Huh? Do I? Do I? I think I do. I think I do. I think I do a little bit. But yeah. Women are programmed to just throw whatever they want towards their counterparts, right? And us as the counterparts, we're programmed to just take it and process it on our own the best way we can. Uh so with that being said, Sorry, give me a second, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. This mic is the bee's knees. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. So here's the thing, right? I'm gonna use this as an example because this is what I'm doing right now, right? So you're in a relationship. That relationship gets broken off, right? By the female. As a man, you're given two choices when that happens, right? Let's just separate the fact that there's a kid involved. Let's say there's no kid. This is the two choices you're left with as a man, right? Sever all ties and live your life, or continue to be the man that you was raised to be, or continue to be a man that knows that this female doesn't know her way in life and is going to need guidance, right? So basically, you try to be the man you was raised to be and provide guidance. But by you providing guidance, that's making you seem like you're a sucker, or she's taking you for a ride, or whatever that may be, right? Now, reverse the roles in that situation. If the male breaks up with the female, right? And the male wants to be amicable, still be friends, still be social, civil, whatever. Still no kid involved. When there's a kid involved, it's all different. I would say it all depends on what happens in the relationship. That's true too. But for simplicity reasons, we're gonna say there's no kid involved, right? So the man wants to be amicable, friends, blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. So because it's the man that's wanting to still be cordial and keep the lines of communication open, then it's he's playing games. He knows I still have feelings for him and he's not trying to let me heal. He's doing this, he's doing that. But at the same time, when the female wants the male around or needs something from the male, then it's okay, right? A lot of people focus on the wrong things in relationships nowadays. And like I don't mean to overstep my bounds, but Redbeard, you're the only one that's in my stream right now that I know is married. So I don't know much about his marriage or his personal life, but from the things he share and the things I've seen and the way he talks about his wife, this is what marriage is supposed to be about, right? Marriage is supposed to be about being friends, being able to have disagreements. What's going on, Kit? Being able to have disagreements, being able to discuss things and come to a solution together, right? There's not many of those at this point. Panda, what's going on? Appreciate you for stopping by. There's not a lot of that going on nowadays, right? So it's either the male is feeling unappreciated and unloved by the woman, or the woman is feeling unappreciated. If me and my wife break things off mutually on good terms, if she ever needed anything, then I'll be there to help. Things are not bad, kid. It's going day by day, you know. Exactly, Redbeard. That's exactly, you know, that's exactly what I advocate for. It's been a hot minute since I've been in your stream house. Everything's good. I can't complain. I can't complain. No, everything's good. You know, got promoted at work, so you know, my streams are a little more erratic and everything. So sporadic, I should say. But yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I'm doing okay. How things with you? What's going on, Chevy? Appreciate you for stopping by. So things are well. How things with you? So, oh my goodness, everything's just going crazy today. So here's my thing, right? Communication is everything in a relationship or marriage. Well, just got over COVID. Now my sister Butterfly has it. Yeah, I was just talking to Butterfly earlier. She was just streaming. I talked to her earlier and checked on her and everything. So everyone says relationships, communication, and relationships go hand in hand. I do believe that. Yes, I do believe that. But it takes more than communication for a relationship to work, right? It takes patience, it takes compromise, it takes understanding, it takes the willingness to learn the other person's pet peeves, their triggers, their likes, their dislikes. And a lot of their dislikes may be annoying to you, just like a lot of your dislikes may be annoying to them. But everyone focuses on the communication piece. Yes, communication is a great thing. I agree with that 100%. But if you don't have the patience or the tolerance to deal with the person that you're with or you're around, then you can communicate all you want. There's nothing that you could communicate with that person that's going to make the relationship better, because the tolerance is not there. The patience is not there. The understanding is not there. The comfortability of being around that person is not there, right? So here's where it starts to branch off between men and women. Men will bite the bullet for someone that they feel like they care for, right? They will twist their mind, their emotions, hell, sometimes even their heart, to be what that woman wants, because in their mind and in their heart, this woman is for them. This is the woman they want. This is the woman they want to be with. So they're going to, in a sense, try and form themselves into what this woman wants. Now, on the women's side, not all women, most women, but not all women. On the women's side, the women is more of a take what you get type mold, right? A woman will say, "This is me, this is how I am, this is how I've always been, I'm not changing for nobody." But there's that one guy, that one person that female is going to meet, that she's going to do things for that she hasn't done for any other guy, that she's going to put up with things. Jules, my bro, what's going on, bro? That she's going to put up with, right? So, on the reverse side of it, it's more so an internal war with men versus men rather than men versus women. And I'm explaining that right now. So, society has broken men down into two categories nowadays, right? The good guy and what society likes to call fuckboys. Okay? So, the good dude, right, is doing everything he can, holding down the job, providing the best he can. This is while you're together, right? Providing, doing the best he can, taking care of the kids if you have kids, making sure you're good. Your car break down, he got it. You know, you need something done, he got it. Cool, whatever. You know, most women get tired of that real quick for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. Some women get tired of that guy, and then they move over to the fuck boy, the boy that the yeah, we're gonna say the boy because no man acts like this. The boy that has you and two other females on the side. The boy that sees you struggling and is at home all day playing video games, talking to his friends, going out, staying out all times of the night, not thinking about you or thinking about your feelings, right? But this is what women seem to want nowadays, right? Every one of my so called homeboys from the past is like that. And they have no problem with women. But yet, the good dudes, they have all the problem with women. They're soft, they're simps. I mean, there's a thin line between being a good guy and a simp. Nobody, but nobody, can tell you that you're a simp because you want to give your woman or whatever she may be the world. No one should be able to call someone a simp because they want to be a good man. We gonna start on this soon. Thanks, Jules. Appreciate you, bro. Working a lot, especially in new relationships, is gonna cause shit to go south. 50% of marriages end in divorce. 80% of that 50% is all within the first 16 to 18 months. That's true. But let me ask you this. If someone lets their relationship and or marriage go to shit because of their work or their careers, was it really love? Like, think about that for a second. Like, they say love is unselfish, love is strong, love can get through anything. That's what they say, right? So if something like a career or working 80 hours a week breaks up a relationship and or a marriage, can you really say that there was real love in that relationship and or marriage on both parts? Because the way I see it is the person that's breaking the relationship or marriage off for that, their love was nowhere near where the other person's was. If you let a marriage or relationship burn down to ashes, then you never cared about it to begin with. Being in a committed relationship is a career and of itself. That's true. That's true. But with that being said, that career you're both supposed to be invested in, right? So if you're doing 80 and she's doing 20, how is that a career? Or if she's doing 80 and you're doing 20, how is that a career? That's more of a one sided, you do all the work and I reap all the benefits. And then when you start getting tired, I'll pitch in and act like I'm a part of this team until you get your wind back, and then I'm gonna go back to slacking off again. So, I mean, Yeah, I get what you're saying, but the effort has to be there on both parts. But here's the thing, though. I just got a text. I never should have trusted anyone. That's including you. Right? Let's dissect that statement real quick. Because it's easy to let something fail. It's easy to let something that takes time to grow and mature to go to shit. We as humans have a tendency to ditch things that are hard even if they are good for us. Is that all humans though? I don't think that's all humans because me personally, I fought for 9 months to no avail. Kind of make me feel like I was stupid for even trying. But I did. But at the same time though, it's like it's not just between men and women, it's more so of society as well because society sees men kind of like a byproduct. Let me explain what I mean by that. So, if you go through a nasty breakup and there is a kid involved, now let's put the kid back into the equation. And there's a kid involved, and you have that woman that wants to use the child as a pawn, rather than go back and forth with her, you decide to do the right thing and go the legal way, right? Judge looks at you, judge looks at the mom. Okay, well, the mom has people to help her. The father's here working two jobs or working one job, making more than enough money or enough money to support him and the child. Has a stable place to live. But you know what? I'm gonna give them to the mother because the mother has people helping her. The mother doesn't make as much as the father does, but she has people helping, so I'm gonna give the child to the mother. Okay? Using your child as a shield and weapon to fight over marital issues is as low as it gets. 100%. 100%. But then my question is are those good guys that get their children taken away from them or having to fight to see them wrong if they become mad or if they become to the point where they're like, fuck being good. Good never got me nowhere. Are they really wrong? I don't think they are. A lot of people confuse malice and anger with frustration. You can be frustrated and it comes off as malice and anger, right? Playing around with someone's kid could be very frustrating, especially if it's a father that wants to be in their child's life or that wants to take care of their child. But then they hit you with the double whammy. Okay, we're going to give the custody to the mother. You're going to have visitation rights and you got to pay child support. Last time I checked, child support was for absentee fathers. So if I'm getting visitation rights and I got to pay child support, and then you wonder why so many single fathers are angry, you wonder why so many single fathers are bitter, you wonder why so many single fathers go so hard. This is why, because the system is not built for equality. The system is built for, okay, a child is best with his mother. And that's been the saying since I could remember. A child is nothing without its mother. Is what I grew up hearing all my life. a child is nothing without its mother. Okay? And like I said before, I don't have a good relationship with my father. My father wasn't in my life. But I'm also not biased to the fact that there are still some good dads out there. There are some men out there that want to be fathers. I think it's the overwhelming factor of knowing that there are some men out there who work 12 hours a day, has a house, the whole nine, and all they want is their kids. But they get visitation of their kids only because most states are mother friendly states, unless living conditions on the mom's side are so abysmal and appalling that it poses a health risk. Exactly. Why are states mother friendly? Where did that even come from? Because there's guys out here, right, that actually will go above and beyond for their kid more so than the mother would. So to say, okay, well, we're in New York, we're mother friendly because mothers are more important than fathers. Who decided that? Like, where is the facts and the studies that show that kids become better adults just because they have a mom? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying women can't raise kids by themselves. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is men has this stigma and this reputation for making babies and running out and not taking care of their responsibilities. But what about the women that trick the men into having babies with them and then tell them, "Oh no, you can't see your kid. I didn't want you in the kid's life. I just wanted a kid." What about those women? They don't get judged. I think not proven. It states that they are pro mother and mother friendly are states that have the highest single mother percentiles in the country. I know New York, Texas, and California. I know New York, Texas, California are all the top three I could think of. Yep, I can attest for New York. But the crazy shit about New York is the moms could be bugged out. Like, I'm talking about bugged out, really bugged out. And they're still like, okay, the kid's better off with the mom. Like, what? How? How? Like how? Don't get me wrong. I'm never doubting the love of a mother's child. But what I'm saying is if the female's bugged out and her moods are unstable and she has no clear direction of life, she can't tell you what plan she has for the next year, the next month, the next 6 months, the next 2 weeks. You're gonna say, "Oh, the kid's better off with her." Meanwhile, the father has a 1 week plan, a 3 week plan, a 3 month plan, a 2 year plan, a 5 year plan. My man is set. He knows where his child and him is gonna be for the next 5 years. But he's still better off with the mom. Make that make sense. I can't see it. Maybe I'm just dumb. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a judge. I don't work for the state. But from a human standpoint, it don't seem like a lot of the decisions that's being made in the courts now is in the favor of the child. It's in the favor of what they think is right and the percentiles of the statistics and single mothers versus single fathers. Like, it's crazy to me that you can sit here and put a child's welfare based on statistics and the care of a person. So, statistically speaking, there's a higher rate of single moms in New York. So the kid's better off with the mom. Statistically speaking, there's a higher rate of single dads in Colorado. I'm just using it for an example. So the child's better off with the dad. Like meanwhile, the dad the dad's a whole piece of shit, right? Like the dad don't care about the child. The dad's off doing his thing or whatever. The dad's off saying he doesn't have a kid. The kid's 5 years old in the house by himself because the dad wants to go have fun. The dad wants to live his life. But yet the mom's here fighting, crying and praying, trying to get their child back because she knows the father's a piece of shit. So to put a child's welfare in the hands of a parent because statistically this is what the state's data shows, I think it's complete bullshit. And I think the whole system needs to be revamped. There's a lot of good guys out here that's trying to get their kids. There's a lot of good guys that's grinding out here to have their kid. So what? I know that it's possible. I know a good dude that's trying to get his kid. So I know they're out there. Who the fuck is this? So I know they're out there. But at the same time, you can't sit here and say, okay, because I showed you this, because I showed you that, because I showed you this, I'm the better parent. I believe deep in my heart that once a child is 5, 6 years old, bring the child to court. Let the child talk to the judge face to face, just him and the judge. No lawyers, no court reporters, no bailiffs, no one sitting in the pews, nobody. Just the child and the judge. Let the child tell you where the child wants to be. Yeah, and I know people say, oh, 5 and 6, they don't really know what's going on. Kids are smarter these days. Kids are very much smarter these days. They know what's going on. They may not talk about it, but they know what's going on. They know who's there for them. They know they they know who lives, breathes, eats, and sleep for their survival. They know. They know. So I say let the child speak. Right? That's just my opinion. So that was the communication and the whole piece kind of merged shit together, but that was the communication piece of equal fields for both sexes. Now let's talk about shortcomings and understanding, right? So when you meet someone for the first time, you're getting to know them. You don't know what their shortcomings are, what their flaws are, or anything like that, right? Most people wait to dig into that. They just want to get to know the person first, right? So here's my thing. Once you start unpacking all the faults and shortcomings and everything as such, why is it that doesn't matter when or how long you've been talking and or dating? I'm still here, by the way, about to do some Uber Eats shit, bro. I started doing this full time and I'm happier. That's what's up. I can't knock it. A hustle is a hustle. I salute you, bro. But how is it that it doesn't matter at what point in time in a relationship the shortcomings start to get unpacked? The woman can call the man out on all his faults and shortcomings and expect the man to take it. Like, expect him to take it on the chin and say, okay, I get it. I'll work on it. But yet, flip that around and let a man start unpacking the female shortcomings is World War III, right? It's you wasn't saying that when you was trying to get my attention. You wasn't saying that when we was going out on dates. You wasn't saying that when you was trying to get into my pants, right? I'm gonna make a statement, and it's probably gonna be a real controversial one, but I'm gonna make it anyway. So when it comes to women and them expressing their feelings to men, most of them don't know how to word it. And I'm saying that because most women were taught and raised to just be direct, right? There's no sugarcoating most times. There's no thinking about what you're saying before you say it. You just say it. As to where men, we have to think about what we're saying to our wife or our girlfriend before we say it. Not to say that we're trying to say something that we're not trying to say, but just like being blunt and saying it, it's going to take a little finesse and a little bit more planning for us to get what we have to say to our females out for them to receive it in a non-confrontational way, right? But women, they just throw that shit out there. You need to do this. You need to do that. You got to do this. Don't be doing this. Don't be doing that. Like, talk to me. Don't talk at me, right? So basically, when things start to break down, it's more so you did this, you did that, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. If you have a woman, oh, jeez. If you have a woman that can admit that she made mistakes and own it, that's a keeper, right? Because admitting you made a mistake and owning a mistake is two different things. You can say, yeah, I know I was wrong for that. But that's not saying, okay, I was wrong for that. Here's why I was wrong for that. And I apologize for my actions. That's acknowledging and owning. Acknowledging is only the first step of a mistake. You have to acknowledge and own it. People don't want to hear I'm sorry all the time, right? People don't want to hear people don't want to hear I'm sorry, sorry, sorry. They want to hear you acknowledging it. Admitting that you're wrong is hard to do, man. That's why people who do it are usually more respected. That's true. That's true because I used to be like that. I used to hate to admit I was wrong. As I got older, I realized that it's a part of life. I realized it's a part of life. And I mean, if a lot of people start admitting their wrongs and owning it, I think the world would be a better place. That's what I think. But here's the thing about women versus men, right? When a woman gets something in her head, there's nothing you can do to change it. Nothing. You just have to run your course. If you know you messed up, you can choose two options. Number one, admit it, you're wrong, and then figure out how to be better, or apologize and move on without learning anything. And I think a lot of people take the second choice, apologize and move on. But apologizing and moving on doesn't necessarily work all the time. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to talk about your situations. You have to be able to communicate. Okay, this is where I felt like you offended me, or this is where I felt like you went wrong at. And then give your rebuttal. But what I had to learn personally on my own, the hard way, was sometimes the issue's not going to get fixed right then and there. So you could talk until you're blue in the face. It's not going to get fixed because the other person's not willing to listen. The other person has in their head what they have in their head, and there's nothing you can say that's going to change it. So, a tough pill to swallow. I had to learn how to just walk away from some situations for a while. Not saying I gave up on it, just saying I had to walk away and let cooler heads prevail. So, basically, like I was saying, when a female has something in her head, you're never gonna change her mind. Most females, most females will have a thought about you without even having proof. Just because you did something out of the ordinary one day. Something something so small, something so unnoticeable by you, but they noticed it. And it turns into one whole big thing. But then ask yourself this, and I'm quite sure a lot of men ask themselves this, but no one talks about it. So here it goes. I'm quite sure everyone that's in this chat right now, that's in this stream, that's a male. I'm quite sure you've been broken up with before, right? Every man asks himself this question when he gets broken up with and he happens to run into his ex and they're in a new relationship. And they immediately notice that their ex is acting totally different than they did with him. Every man asks himself, how is it they get the better version of her than I did? Now, get this, right? Ask yourself a question. Is the next guy really getting a better version of her? Or is she just pretending with that other guy? Because let's just call a spade, right? You've been up and down with this woman, nowhere in and out, but yet you run back up into her. She's talking different, she's acting different, her temperament is different. Is that really the real her with this guy? Or is she being someone she thinks he wants? Or pretending to be someone different so she won't lose this one? Because me personally, a woman's not gonna leave a man unless it was planned for her to leave. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about plotting or anything like that. You having problems in your relationship, right? You work through it. You work through it. You start going on a positive path. Now, from you working through that problem, it's already in her mind, right? I'm probably going to end up having to leave him because things are going to keep happening and keep happening. And we're going to have to keep working and working. And it's going to start to feel more like a chore than a relationship. So I need to start thinking about that, right? So this is just my opinion. I'm speaking for myself. No woman is going to just abruptly up and leave and then hit you with a, oh, I just felt like it was time for us to part ways. This wasn't just a feeling. This was something you was thinking about for a while, and a certain incident or a certain occasion or a certain time just happened to click, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it now. Nah, I haven't. LOL. First relationship I was in, the same girl I'm with now. I had like a 3 week fling with someone. Wasn't sexual. Wasn't serious at all. But she beat my ass for 3 weeks straight, man. This same girl suckered a Marine into marrying her. She's now living in California, living a lavish lifestyle. Well, you, my friend, are a unicorn. I don't know many people that's gotten in their first relationship and married the person they was with. So that deserves a very big congratulations. Yeah, so that deserves a very big congratulations. I don't know many people. Hell, I don't even know many people that stayed with their high school sweetheart. Honestly, I appreciate that, man. We met in June 2017, dated in July 2017, but in September 2017 we were married, and then went to boot camp 2 months later. It was hard as fuck, man. Oh wait, y'all went to boot camp together too, or you went to boot camp? Nah, it was just me. Oh, okay, okay. I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about, though. That's a relationship. That's a marriage. When you're away and nothing changes, and when you come back, you're closer than you was before you left. That's a relationship. That's how you know you have a relationship. Many people, like you said in the beginning, many people let work get in the way, distance get in the way. Listen, if the love is there, the love is there, right? It doesn't matter if there's distance. It shouldn't matter if there's work. If the love is there, the love is there. Love is not easy. Love is not something that just happens. Or like the first 3 to 6 weeks, we fought a lot, but we had to learn to live with one another. Well, yeah. I mean, when you first move in with each other, you got to learn people's routines and habits and all that stuff. So it's like I don't know. I personally feel Like, a lot of people in this generation have the wrong meaning of the word love, right? Because they can say they love somebody and they do something to make them upset. The following week, they're broken up and that person is with someone new. How is that love? If you love someone, they're gonna make you angry. You're gonna have disagreements. You're gonna have arguments. But there's healthy arguments and there's unhealthy arguments. I'm the poster boy for unhealthy arguments. I, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest with you. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I've had a lot of unhealthy arguments. Did I know they was unhealthy back then? No, I didn't. Do I know that now? Yes, I do. Do I wish I could take most of them back? Yes, I do. But like they said, you live and learn, right? I'm living and I'm learning. I can't expect everyone to be patient with me while I work through whatever I have to work through. Hey, Blackout, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you for stopping by. What I do know is simply this, right? To love someone is to accept all of them, not just what you like about them, but what you don't like about them, what you can't stand about them, what they do that drives you up the wall. That's accepting all of it, right? What I will say is this one saying I do not agree with. I don't know why I don't agree with it, but I don't agree with it. The one saying I don't agree with is when you marry a person, you marry their family. I don't agree with that. And I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with that. When you marry a person, yes, you're marrying into a family just like they're marrying into yours. What I don't agree with and what I don't believe any family member should do, I don't believe that just because you're married, that gives the person's family the right to butt into your relationship or your marriage for the most part. Just because you married someone in their family, they have no right meddling in your marriage, regardless if your spouse runs to them and tells them what's going on in the marriage when y'all are at odds or not. They're just a venting post for that person. At no given time should that person's family go to your husband or go to your wife and try to tell them how to run their marriage. Also, at no given time is your spouse supposed to stand there and allow their family to berate you or critique your marriage in front of them. I don't believe in that. I'm not saying curse your family out, turn your back on your family. I feel like in laws on either side shouldn't have input on the son or the daughter in law's life decisions. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, families need to understand. Yeah, they're gonna come and vent to you because you're family. That's comfortable right there. That's a safe haven. And no way does that give you the right to approach the husband or the wife and say, hey, blah, blah, blah said this and said that. You need to do this. That is not your place. You have overstepped. And now, personally, when that happens, I don't feel comfortable around you anymore. That's pretty much the problem I've had in the past, which is why I never really did the in law thing. I no longer feel like you look at me as an equal. I feel like you look at me as someone that married your daughter, and no matter what your daughter tells you, you're going to take her side, even if she's wrong. I no longer feel comfortable with you knowing the inner workings of our marriage. So, with that being said, that line of communication in my world is shut down because now you've shown me that it doesn't matter what your family member tells you. You're going to say I'm wrong because I'm not the family member and the person is. So the whole once you marry someone, you marry the family bit, I'm not with it. I'm not saying the in laws who vicariously try to live their marriage through the marriage of their child and the person they are married to are delusional as hell. Exactly. Exactly. Because what works in one marriage doesn't necessarily work in all marriages, right? So they can't say, oh, well, blah, blah, blah came to me and said this. You know what I do when blah, blah, blah does that? I do this. Okay, that works for you. Doesn't mean it's going to work for me. What people have to understand is just like everything else, marriages and the rules to them evolve with time. So the simplicity of fixing an argument or disagreement that would have happened back in 1960 or 1950, that simplicity won't work in 2022. It won't work in 2023. It's not going to work in 2030 because just like everything else over time, marriages and relationships evolve. Problems get more complex, more complicated. There's more pieces to move around. There's more people interjected into the situation. It's not like it was back in the day. So you can't go into your bag of tricks and say, what I did when this happened in my marriage is I did this and everything was fine. Guess what? It wasn't as simple. It was much more simple back then. It's not as simple now. There's a lot more moving pieces to problems in relationships and marriages. One of the biggest problems is social media. They didn't have social media back in the 1950s and the 1960s, right? Everything was face to face. So if you had an issue or a problem, you spoke about it. You penned a letter and you mailed it. There was no social media. There was no Facebook. There was no Instagram. There was no Twitter. There was no Tinder, no Bumble, no whatever you want to call it. There was none of that. Nowadays, if people have problems in relationships, what do? They hop on the website, they hop on a social, they go find somebody new. Half the time, you don't even know there's an issue. They just like, oh, okay, they want to act like this. I'm going to find somebody new. 90% of the time nowadays, you don't even know there's a problem in your relationship. You know, you had a disagreement, you spoke about it, everything seems cool. But then, boom, out of nowhere, one person's in a new relationship. Or they talk about it on forums and Facebook pages. I've been seeing that a whole lot. Yeah, exactly. Instead of talking to the person, why not? Why why put it on forums or Facebook? Just talk to the person. Yeah, it's gonna get heated. It may not get resolved at that moment. But guess what? People take heated arguments between two people that's in a relationship or marriage as a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Heated arguments just shows that you care. Because I'm not gonna get upset over someone I don't give a fuck about. Like I can give you my advice, but if you're not gonna listen, then fuck it. It's your life. Do what you will with it. But if I care about you and I'm telling you something and you're disagreeing with me, yeah, it's gonna get heated. Because I'm worrying about your safety and your welfare and you're going against the grain. So yeah, it's gonna get heated because there's emotions and there's feelings there. So a lot of people take the yelling and the heated argument or the elevated tones as a bad thing. Take a couple of deep breaths and think, okay, well, they wouldn't be upset if they didn't care about me. But at the same time, I don't like them yelling at me. So let's address the fact that they're yelling at me. And then let's address the fact that I appreciate that they care enough to yell at me. It's not that hard. Not that hard. Yeah, you're gonna walk around the house probably for a day or two without speaking to each other. If you're that type of couple, there's a lot of couples that don't like going to bed angry. So it's gonna get resolved that night, no matter how long it takes. And that's cool too. But at the same time, people gotta learn when to walk away and let things cool off, right? Because trying to fix every situation or a situation when it happens every time is not necessarily the best idea. It's not. That's just my opinion. But there's people that have great communication skills that can navigate through anything right then and there, and I salute those people. I really do, because my communication skills is far off from that. If someone I care about pisses me off, I'm gonna say what I have to say, and if I see they're going against the grain, I'm not gonna keep arguing, because I know me, and most of the people I argue with, I know them. They're not gonna hear me. I'm not gonna hear them. So I just stop. Most of the people I do that to, it makes them upset because they say I'm an asshole. I don't care. I'm not this. I'm not that. So here's the thing, right? When you sit here and try and fix everything in the moment, when me and my wife went to Colorado in 2019, we had a married couple who were together for over 50 years say that the key to making the marriage work is talk through everything and not go to bed angry. Uh, I'm gonna say I halfway agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why I halfway agree with it. Because talking through everything I agree with, yes. Not going to bed angry, that can be a good and or bad thing, right? Because like I said, not everyone is gonna want to talk through everything right when it happens. So if you're one of those people that don't believe in going to bed angry, then you could possibly be in for a very long night, right? Because you yourself could say, I need a couple of hours to cool down before we even address this. Or your partner could be like, I need a couple of hours to cool down before we address this. Now, your couple of hours and their couple of hours might be different. Your couple of hours may be like an hour or two. Their couple of hours may be like 4 or 5 hours. So now you're up all night. I don't care about going to bed angry. You know why? Because tomorrow is a new day. You had time to reflect and think about what was said and or done. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I mean. Exactly. So yeah, going to bed angry could be a good and bad thing. If you're those people that can communicate through anything right when it happens, like I said, I salute you. I commend you. My hat's off to you. I appreciate the fact that you can do that. But to Redbeard's point, you have time to think about what was said, what was done, reflect, come back at it the next day. Don't make it the focal point of your next day, because what happened in the past is the past. But you had time to reflect on it, come back to it the next day. Listen, babe, I'm sorry. I said this, I said that. I really believed in it though. And, obviously you disagreed with me. Things got said. I apologize. Boom. That's it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy like that all the time, but sometimes you do need time to reflect on what was said and what was done. You need time to process the situation and figure out how you got there. When did you get there? and what could be done to fix how you got there so you'll never get there again. I don't want to say never, but not no time soon, you know what I mean? But yeah, Jesus Christ. This phone just won't stop tonight. So yeah, everything boils down to communication, but it's all about how you communicate. Now, I don't know how new or old this is, but now I hear everyone talking about love languages. I don't know what love language is, but yeah, love language. Everyone talks about love language. What is a love language? Some people say it's food. Some people say it's whatever you use to communicate with your person that only your person would understand. Maybe so. I don't know. I don't have a love language because I'm not in a relationship. Ha 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 ha. No, but seriously though, um, if that's something that works for you, great. Whatever works for you works for you. What I will advocate for is never let no one tell you what you should and shouldn't do in your marriage or relationship. That's your marriage, that's your relationship. You do what you feel you need to do to save it, make it work, continue being in it. And I say that to say this: never stay in a relationship where you feel unappreciated, unwanted, and taken for granted for. I'm saying it because I've done it. I've been a part of it. I've been in a relationship where I felt unappreciated, unloved, and been taken for granted. And that shit sucks. But like I said, you live and learn, right? So don't be afraid to express how you feeling to your partner. I know I was very. But don't be afraid to express how you feel. And like I said in the last couple of videos, know your worth. That's very important. Know your worth. Because you can sit here and tell people you know you're valuable. You can sit here and tell people you deserve this, that, and the third, but you got to believe it. If you don't believe it, you won't achieve it. You're your own cheerleader. No matter how great your marriage is or how great your relationship is, no one's going to believe in you like you believe in you. So believe in yourself before you allow other people to believe in you. And one more thing I wanted to say before I end this video. It's kind of off topic, but I feel like I have to say it because I've been a part of it personally in the last couple of weeks, and it's something I need to get off my chest. Right? People say you're a bad person when you cut them off. Right? I'm talking about friends. Right? You're not a bad person when you cut people off. Right? If you cut people off, you cut them off for a reason. Right? If you're elevating and those friends are not doing nothing to elevate with you or help elevate you, then you just got to fall back and let them know I'm going in a different direction than you're going. And if you can't see the bigger picture that I see, then I gotta do this on my own. Don't let friends make you feel bad for wanting better for yourself, for your family, for your marriage, for your relationship. There's a lot of people that don't have many friends because they're jealous of their marriage or their relationship. A quote I heard that always stuck with me. It's an old one. It's kind of popular, but it always stuck with me. Everyone that comes into your life is not meant to add to it. Most people come to take from it. So you just gotta watch and see who's there to add to your life and who's there to take from it. Because the ones that's there to take from it are the ones that should get the boot and never to return again. So, with that said, I will end the video here. Um, Thank you, Redbeard and Blackout, always. Appreciate you guys. Uh, Jules, appreciate you. It's Jay. Appreciate you, Chevy. Kit Kat. Um, X Baby Panda. Appreciate you. Think I said your name right. Um, Action Blacktop. Sponsor. Get your driveway done. They travel. They'll even come to Oklahoma or Texas or California. Wherever you are too, Blackout. They'll come to you. Um, Swift Lifestyles. Appreciate you. Made to stand out. Appreciate you. Um, Crazy Skull is a new sponsor. This one's a contract sponsor. Hey! So, Crazy Skull, they make shirts, hoodies, hats, sweatshirts. I said sweatshirts already. I will be wearing something from them on what's say Sunday? Wednesday. I'll probably be back Wednesday. I'll be wearing something from them. Probably the sweatshirt. Um yeah, that's it. So anyone that's in here, if you do RP, check out Sundown City. Pretty cool place. But yeah, so with that said, I am going to send the love to Panda. So please check Panda out. Great streamer. I met them through Butterfly Twix. Yeah, I met them through Butterfly Twix. So please check them out. I forgot to spell his name. Hold on. Ah, hold on. Why do they make their name so difficult? Panda, baby. Is that a capital B? Oh, sorry guys. Give me 1 second. Don't leave. Please don't leave. 2121XX. All right. I'm going to send you over to them. And they are playing a little bit of Apex. Apex Legends they are playing. So appreciate you guys. Hope to see you Wednesday. Laters.